Hello, Pisces. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. Okay, Pisces, so looking at your first week of December, you pulled Hunter, Nature, and Sacrifice. This one was interesting for me because it was like understanding that you've made enough sacrifices in your life that now is the time for you to actively seek what you want. And that's what Hunter is talking about. It's talking about needing to lay down a plan on how to obtain what it is you want, but also understanding that it's okay to express that part of you that actively wants to seek something out. So, because of sacrifice, this may be something that you've been wanting but have been holding off, not because you didn't know how to obtain it, but because there may have been a feeling of, I've had to sacrifice my wants, but now I've paid. I've paid what's necessary. Now is the time for you to actively seek what you want. In nature, this is talking about needing to realign your energy and becoming more connected with the natural part of yourself. It's almost like what you're wanting and desiring. Understand that it is natural to do so, but there is the message here that you need to actively seek it out. But sacrifice, there's a part of this that I loved and how this connected. First of all, it says, even if I have to break apart, as long as it serves a purpose, I have accepted my duty, and in my release, I found freedom. So this is where you're releasing the idea of continuously needing to sacrifice the things that you want for other people, other situations. But it says we accept a price to pay and we use our blood and tears as currency. That gives us the right to stand tall. This is like, I have sacrificed enough in my life. I deserve now to have what I want. And nature, to me, in this situation is this reminder that it's okay, Pisces. It's natural, right? Like, it's natural for you to desire and want the thing that you are actively trying to seek out. But very much this feeling of, I have sacrificed so much, and you may have denied yourself certain experiences, but it's like the freedom is coming from the understanding that you've made the payment, so to speak, right? Like, I've made my payment. I deserve to have what I want now. You're overall the Seven of Wands, so standing up for yourself, using your voice, speaking up, letting people know exactly where you stand and how you feel. But this also indicates opposition to your viewpoint, but you not backing down from that. In the past, the Ten of Pentacles, so security, stability, long-lasting, right? And it's legacy, it's what you're passing on. I look at this as like the retirement card. I've worked really hard. I deserve this. Now I just want to have some peace. But you're coming from a very secure place, but it's also the ending of a cycle here being the 10. So you're looking at something new that's going to be coming through. But your past has led you to this security. Oh boy. In the present, the Tower. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles preceding this, it may be that your secure foundation that you have worked so hard for may be shooken up a little bit. But, again, with the Tower, right, it's the false foundation. The shit's got to come down. But this could be about you making some drastic changes because you're coming from a place of security. But it may start with you wiping away any kind of false beliefs that you may be holding. And this is where there may be a change of viewpoint that's being like opposed. Like, no, this is where I stand. And this change has to be made. And I'm secure enough to be able to do that. And it's not about the thoughts and the ideas of others around you. It's about you and where you stand, right? Wow, man. Future conditions, the world. So successful completion. And getting closure, ending the cycle. This is big. You're making drastic changes and getting rid of anything that is false, and you may be doing it in such a way that's going to cause a ruckus, so to speak. But for you, it's about your closure. But the world, it's beautiful because this is opening the door to unlimited possibilities. This isn't just, okay, we've come to the end of this cycle, now we're going to begin it again and we'll see how it goes this time. No, this is it, right? And it's funny because there's a part of the world that talks about your reward, the reward that comes through from going through the cycle, learning the lessons, and closing the chapter. But what gets me is that with the Seven of Wands, you're having to defend your viewpoint. Your best path to follow, the Eight of Cups. Gotta move on, right? And here's what I'm getting from this. If you're having to defend yourself and what you are grounded in the choices that you make, and how you choose to move forward, right? Like, if you're having to go through all of that, it's wasted effort. It's almost like, be aware of how much effort you're putting into having to explain yourself to people who are not interested in seeing your viewpoint. If you're dealing with people who are asleep, this is wasted effort, right? Because you're talking about being emotionally drained from it. And it may be that the drastic change needs to be, the situations and the people that you're involved with. Because if it's leaving you in this place, is it really worth the emotional effort? Right? But clearly here, right, needing to let go and move on. And you do with the world in a really big way. In your environment, the Five of Wands, there's the conflict, there's the opposition. But with the Tower, anything and anyone that is opposing where you stand is going to be wiped out. And it's so minor and it's so petty, right? I always say that with the Five of Wands. It's a difficult change, but it's the pettiness that sometimes, it gets us caught up. But the Tower, yeah, no. They're not going to be able to stand for very long. That's for sure. Which I feel like is good for you. Because again, there's this feeling of being drained by constantly having to defend yourself and your position, right? Your hopes and your fears, the Knight of Pentacles. This would be like, I know that things are moving in a certain direction, but can we speed it the fuck up now, right? Like, I don't want this to keep dragging out. But, the other part of this, though, is the way that you're handling it, right? It's like, okay, this may be a situation that is going to take some time to get through, but I know where I'm going. And there, again, is that security coming through that you're pulling from the past. You have a very secure foundation that you're working from. But the foundation that's been built off of bullshit, right? Like, it's coming down. But I look at this and think we don't want things to continue to drag on. Coming out the Seven of Swords. Why? But with the world, right, you're not dealing with that anymore. And this being the outcome, wherever there has been deception or people with, unclear intentions, people who, are looking to take something from you or what they can get away with, it's no more for you. You're done. The light, so to speak, is being shined on all of this kind of garbage that you may have been dealing with from people who just keep building these false foundations and wonder why the shit falls apart. And I think that you don't want to be a part of that anymore. Oh, man. But that may be like the final straw for you in a situation or with a person that you're dealing with, whatever the case may be. Because of the world, you know, this is like completely wiping this out. And now there is the need to kind of like speak up about how you see this and how it can't be a part of your experience anymore. Oh boy, the devil. The Three of Wands. And then the Six of Wands. Perfect, perfect. So this is going to be for the Pisces that is finally bringing light to where you have been taken advantage of and how you are thinking and feeling about that. And you're taking the action that's necessary to get rid of this from your life. So the devil, and looking at the Ten of Pentacles, you know, again, you're coming from a very secure foundation, but you understand that a cycle is getting ready to repeat again. But you don't want that to happen, because what you've experienced is this wasted effort, wasted emotion, petty bullshit, people who are only interested in themselves and what they can get, what they can gain, right? It's all toxic. And you see it for what it is with the devil here. But again, we're not repeating the pattern. The Tower is clearing that out. And with the Three of Wands, it's like, okay, if I'm ending this kind of negative cycle, negative patterns, whatever it may be here, where you're getting involved with these kind of gross situations with people who are asleep. I keep getting you being in tune with yourself in a way where people don't like it, but you understand that they're so driven by their own egos that they can't, you know, I don't know why, but I keep getting this feeling of dealing with people where you think that they would have empathy, but they don't. And I think that this is you kind of like understanding that. Anyway, the Three of Wands, you're getting rid of this, but you're opening yourself up to something else. If there is something else available, right, when you break the chains of the devil and you open up your awareness, you may be surprised at the things that start coming back into your life once this is wiped out. Like, I can see better horizons, right? It may be a slow going path, and that may be with your own healing though too. But this is done. This is done, right? And then you have the Six of Wands. It's like, oh, Pisces got rid of their bullshit. Now they're open and they're free. And everybody's seeing it. And this is the victory for you. But it has to come from, you know, this difficult place. Something that may have been tying you down for a while. Being addicted to situations where people cheat on you, lie to you, you know. You're not standing for it anymore. And when the Tower comes through, it's not wiping you out. It's going to wipe all of that bullshit out. But, you know, again, you know, this wasted effort, right, on people who are asleep, people who are not capable of having empathy. You know, they don't understand. They're so wrapped up in the ego. It's like, do you not see that what you're looking at is another part of you? Right? Like, they'll never see that. They'll never understand that. You, though, however, do. Wow, man. Change, yeah. Adventure. And this is where I feel like the Three of Wands is kind of coming through. And then initiative. Once the change has made, there are things that are going to be coming into you that were not a part of your awareness. And it's going to lead to this new adventure, but it's all about you taking the initiative to go on that adventure as these things start to come into your awareness, right? It's almost like, don't let this change and the things that are coming in pass you by. Whew, Pisces. Oh, a new romantic cycle begins. I've seen this once before and I can't remember who it was. Yep, there you go. The end of a tough cycle approaches. It's a beautiful reading. I can feel this really powerful energy in wanting to make that change, right? And no longer wasting, your precious emotions on people who cannot see anything other than their own ego. And I say that because if they weren't, they wouldn't be trying to deceive, right? Powerful but beautiful reading. You have a strong foundation to stand firm on, and use that to your advantage.